Well, welcome, both of you. Thank you for coming. Yes, just for the benefit of the camera, that's two people that bothered to come and weren't watching Mary Berry. We'll make them all watch it and they can feel guilty. Right, so we'll do some meditation and we'll get you both in the zone. I'll talk a bit first about the topic, which was invitations. And the reason that, I probably should talk about Harvest Festival, seeing as I'm surrounded by bags of pasta and kidney beans. I won't talk about Harvest. I've been reading. I got hold of a book, because that tends to be what you read, isn't it? Thich Nhat Hanh book, and he for me is just, if you want to read about mindfulness, you want to find out about mindfulness and fantastic teachings. Thich Nhat Hanh is just beautiful, and it's so simple. The way that he talks about things, the way he explains things and describes things, is just so elegant. I can't get enough of it. But anyway, so I picked up one of his mindfulness books and was reading through it. And it prompted me to look at some other bits and pieces. And I read a passage about, and it was about these singing bowls that we use for meditation, that we use for bringing ourselves to the moment. And what it was is they said that we treat the bowl with respect, and we don't strike the bowl, we don't hit the bowl. What we do is we invite the bowl to sound. By doing that, we're actually inviting it to ring for us and to sound for us. And I thought that was just a really nice, turn of phrase to invite something to happen. It's quite, in as much as it's quite passive, as mindfulness is, it's quite passive, and it's about awareness, and it's we're not being aggressive, we're not hitting it. We're not being demanding of it. We're not demanding the bowl to sound. We're just inviting it to sound. And that led me on to thinking about some of the other aspects of the exercises that we do, and in particular the one where we focus our awareness on our senses. And I was thinking about some of the words and phrases that I use. So when we're just listening, we allow the sound into our awareness, and it's a similar kind of thing. We're just inviting it. When we're looking around to see what we can see, we're really just inviting the light waves into our eyes. When we're smelling, it's just an invitation. We're inviting the smell into our being. We're almost inviting the taste into the present moment. Inviting the sensations through our skin into our body, inviting the sound of what we can hear, the traffic outside. We're just inviting it in. It's almost as if we are inviting the present moment. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the present moment is inviting us. It's inviting us to attend. So like a children's invitation we send out for a party. Please come along at 6 o'clock for cake and fun and dancing. So there is always the invitation to be in the moment, to be mindful. So with that in mind, let us begin by inviting our breath. Inviting our awareness to centre on our breath. And there was another thing that I read, which was quite a nice little exercise, and this is one that's aimed at introducing children to become aware of their breath. And I thought we could try it out, so it worked quite nicely, and if it's good enough for the kids, then it's good enough for us grown-ups. And what we do is, rather than just being aware of breathing in and out, we place a finger just beneath the nostrils, so we can actually feel the breath. So we can feel the air in and out. So for the next few breaths, just do that. Just be aware of the sensation of breath on the finger that's held beneath the nose. And then we can extend that. And we can then, once we're aware of the breath, we can feel the movement of air in and out, we can introduce counting to further bring an awareness to our breath and help our mind to focus and shut out some of the distraction and noise. So as we breathe in, we count 1 and out 1. In 2, out 2. And then so it goes 3, 3, 4, and out 4. And then you do that all the way up to 10, and then you start again at 1. And if you get distracted and you lose count or your mind wanders, then all you have to do is just go back to 1 and start again from 1. So we'll just do that for the next few moments. We'll just count the breath. And then the next element that we'll bring to this, whilst we're focused on the breath and on breathing, on mindful breathing, is a really full exhalation. So in a moment, when you breathe out, when you breathe out, just breathe out everything. Push all of the air out so you completely empty the lungs. So do that now on the next exhalation. And continue that just for the next few breaths. Just be aware of completely emptying the lungs. So that then becomes a very physical action. That's you taking control of the breath as well. It's very physical. takes a bit of effort on your part, but you can really be aware of it. Be aware of how the diaphragm responds and the stomach beneath the diaphragm. And that moves when you really empty the lungs. It's an excellent thing to do, because there can be quite a bit of stale air that we hold in our lungs, because often when we breathe, unless we do get out of breath and exercise, we tend to breathe quite a shallow level, just the tops of our lungs. So we never, quite often we'll go throughout the day, we'll never fully empty our lungs. The breath only happens at the top, so we can get stale air. So it's a good thing to do, because it just allows all of that bad air out, allows us to take fresh supply of oxygen in. And really connect with the movement of the diaphragm. That's the other thing that I was reading recently, is the fact that the breath connects our body with our brains, with our consciousness. By becoming aware of our breath, suddenly it makes that, not only does it bring us into the present moment, but it connects our body, the physical, with the conscious, with our thoughts. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So I touched previously on invitations and parties, and things that when we send out an invitation, it's because we want whoever or whatever we're inviting to be with us. We send out invitations to our friends because we want our friends to come to our party. We want our friends to be with us, or our family, or whoever it is we're inviting. But then there are, often is the case if we have a party, people that attend uninvited, gatecrashers, people to whom we didn't send an invitation, and to whom we didn't want at our party, but they come anyway. And often in our lives, and certainly with our psychological state, there are things which gatecrash and come uninvited. Invasive thoughts, negative thoughts, doubts, elements of the ego that force their way in, bits that say that you're useless and rubbish, ugly, stupid. The doubts that say you're never going to find that job, you're going to be stuck in limbo, or you should have joined that group to get more clients. And I suppose the question there is, are they uninvited, or is there some part of us that invites them in? And I think there's possibly a bit of both. It's a bit of both. Certainly with some people, they invite it in. They actually like the distraction of having these gatecrashers bouncing around in their head, because it gives them something to do, it gives them something to think about. Gives them gives them a battle. Even though it's an internal battle, it gives them something to rally against. but it's not, as you know, it's not productive, it's not conducive to being happy. Whether you invite the negative thoughts in, and whether you invite them in or not, whether they just invite themselves, it's not conducive to being happy. So how do we combat that? By being mindful, by inviting the present moment to be in your awareness. Because then the gate crashers lose their potency. So, let us invite the bowl to sound, and we'll be mindful and have a bit of meditation for a few minutes. And let's begin by just engaging the senses. So we begin by inviting in what we can see. Inviting our eyes to look around. And then once you've had a look around, you can close your eyes and you can invite what you can feel to enter your awareness. So be aware of your body, sat on the seat. Aware of your feet in contact with the floor. Aware of your clothes against your skin. Be aware of a very faint movement of air on your face and on your hands. And then next, invite smell into your awareness of the present moment. And then invite taste into your awareness of the present moment. And then we can invite sound into our awareness of the present moment. And it's an open invitation to all sound as it happens in this moment. And if your mind wanders, just invite it back to the present moment. Bringing your awareness to sound of your breath, whatever you've chosen to invite into this present moment right now. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And before we go, I'll just share one more thing that I was reading today that certainly struck a chord with me. And in the book, Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about a colleague of his who was a family man, and at the time had grown, was getting frustrated that his time was getting eaten into. And I'm sure, you know, we've all got children, and we know, and families, and we know what it's like when you have to spend time doing that and spend time doing that with that person, and even not families, but just, you know, in general, when in our working life, you have to devote some time to that, and you devote some time to that, and you devote some time to that, and then you get to the end of the day, and you think, well, now there's the me time, the time that I can spend for me, and often it can get shorter and shorter and eaten into. And what Thich Nhat Hanh talked about was the way to combat that is just to change your perception of that time. So rather than thinking that that's my time, and that's the time I spend with that person, and that's the time I devote to this person, actually, it's all your time. It's all your time. It's just for some of your time you're spending with this person. For other parts of your time, you're with this person, doing whatever. For other parts of your time, you're with this person, doing whatever. So all of it, when you're mindful, all of it is your time. And you invite, or they invite, you into your time and them into you into their time, and so and so. So then you have all the time in the world. You have all the time that you need, because you don't have to reserve time a bit for you. It can be shared. You invite others in. I'll have to find the passage, and I'll let you have it. Because it's explained and spoken about much nicer in the book than that. But I thought that was nice. So that's certainly something that I'm going to do more of. So I'm not thinking that I'm eating into my time. It's not my time, it's all my time. And our time. Anyway, I'll let you go and you might find out who's won the battle. But thank you for coming out in the rain, and yeah, see you next time.
Thank you very much.